Get started with Imani Dorsey. I don't know why I do this. No one on Zoom. All right, we'll go ahead and Shawn Moran.
Imani, good to see you again.
Thank you.
What went well out on the pitch tonight from your assessment?
I think we're trying to figure out a lot of things right now, but the biggest thing that we're coming back to is how we fight for each other and show up for each other. So I think after the first 20 minutes of the game, we were there. I think also trying to stick to our game plan when possible. When we're able to find the solutions, we create good attacks and we create good opportunities. And now it's just about finding those moments more and more throughout the game.
Tonight is the Juneteenth match. There's a whole lot more in life than just football, soccer.
Absolutely.
Can you help us know how's the health and the progress of the Black Women's Player Collective and anything else you'd want to say about that?
Yeah, we've had a really exciting, busy Juneteenth. We've had a couple of clinics throughout the country, one in Chicago. We have a Pride clinic coming up in Portland on Tuesday. We've had a lot of collaborations and obviously our warm-up T-shirts that we helped design with the league. We picked a Black creator, Courtney Herron, to design the image on the shirts and the colorway. So it's just been really exciting to see Juneteenth grow so much. Even here, I was able to collaborate with Kyle and our community engagement team to get me out to some Juneteenth events out here and just to continue to meet more Black people in the community, but also tell them about the Black Women's Player Collective and what we're doing. It's been really cool to see how excited people are to want to continue to work with our organization and continue to hopefully get girls to games. That's one of our programming opportunities where we just bring girls to NWSL games and hopefully meet our members and see us play on the field. And then obviously our Elevate the Next clinics, which we try to implement at least all throughout the country. So it's been a big Juneteenth. We've been really excited.
And you touched on this, but there are ways that we as a community can help with this. We can donate, we can shop, we can volunteer even. Are there things locally that you've helped to set up that the members of this community can do?
Yeah, I think it's something that we're still working on. We're trying to figure out how we can be more actively boots on the ground involved in each community that we're in. But something that I'm really excited about is if you go to our website, there's more opportunities to get involved and volunteer if you'd like to be a part of volunteering for a clinic in your city or helping get girls to games with transportation or just knowing where your donation money is going to be going to. That's been a big part of what we're doing. And I think you'll see in the next 2 years, we're hopefully building to a stronger mentorship program where we're really engaging each and every day with the next generation of players, whether it's the youth to college to professional. Yeah.
As it's been a little harder to get results on the field, but you still have these kind of engagements with fans off the field, has that helped, I guess, to kind of find maybe more meaning in, why you guys are here as players?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think that's a big core to how I operate in this world. There's a lot of or the minutes aren't what you want them to be. It's so important to have that base and that root of what brings you joy off the field and how do you translate that onto the field. I know every time I step on the field, I'm an image, I'm a representation of all the people that have come before me, all the Black women that have come before me. And so for young girls to see me in this position, I know it means a lot because I know it meant a lot to me. So I always hold that close to me, and no matter what the result is, no matter how it's going, I give my best every single moment. And if I'm not, then I know that there's more that I need to do because it's gonna help somebody else down the line, I think. Yeah.
And then speaking of the on-field aspect, I'm curious about the outside back position in general right now. We saw Paige start today at right back. Obviously, there's been some kind of shuffling around there with different players. You're in that group. What is competition like in that group right now? And maybe what are some things that you're working on as a position group to try and improve?
Yeah, I think it's a competitive. We have a lot of really strong outside backs, and I think that's only a good problem to have. It makes Jimmy's job hard. I tell him every day, I'm going to make your job hard. That's what I'm here to do. I think for us as a unit, we've been focusing a lot on 1v1s attacking and defending. How clinical can we be in our crosses and getting forward? How clinical can we be defensively? And that's been our focus. But I think also moving forward, it's about how do we connect both sides of the pitch? How are we connecting our defense to our offense? And I think the more that we can look for those opportunities to do that and be really smart in our movements and when we attack and when we hold and when we break lines, will only help our team. Yeah.
A little bit following up on that. it does feel like this was kind of the lightest injury list that I've seen in a long time with this group. That
Yeah.
you guys are just getting healthier and
Yeah.
healthier. Does some of that increase kind of focus, competition at the outside back spot, that kind of thing? Does it help with just the number of bodies you guys are getting back? Obviously, you still have
Yeah.
some injuries, but
I think, yeah, I mean, not just outside backs, like, there should be competition in every single position on this team. I think, like, obviously the results aren't where we want them to be, so everybody should be evaluating their performance and ready. The next person should be ready to step up, and I think that's only going to make our unit stronger. Nobody should be complacent or comfortable with where they are, and I think going into this July break, that's very much going to be the tone.
I was just about to bring up kind of the international break
Yeah.
because it does give you guys maybe in some ways a little bit like what this team went through last year with maybe something of a second preseason to kind of come back together and be like, okay, again, healthiest that you've ever been. Is there maybe some of that motivation coming?
100%. Yeah, I think it's a reset. I know it's going to be a reset for me mentally and physically. I mean, the points from Jimmy just off the field was like, get away, take your time. Like, this is important for everybody to take this mental break and this physical break, but we come back and we're getting after it. And I know that I'm very eager and ready to get back to work. But I need a break first, so yeah.
All right, thank you, Monty.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. It's good to see you.
Enjoy the break.
Thanks.
I was bummed that they didn't have the T-shirts here today.
I know. That's literally what Alex and my fiance. I think they'll be in like a couple weeks.
Where am I sitting?
This one right here.
It's your first time in here, right?
It is.
All right, we have Yianni Thompson.
So nice
We'll
to
go
see
ahead
you
and get
guys.
started with Shawn Moran.
Yanni, I'll ask you what I asked Amani. In your viewing of and being on the pitch, what went well tonight? What are you seeing as improvement in the squad?
Oh, that's a lot of things. And it's, of course, a lot of things. And I think it's sitting a little bit in our heads. I don't think we use the potential we actually have. We are a very good team with a lot of quality. But we just haven't showed it on the pitch yet. And it's very hard to find inside what's the biggest problem is. But, yeah, I think we overcomplicated things a little bit. And yeah, I would think that's the main reason. We look stressed, I think.
You're one of quite a few players who's going to be leaving us for a break. You're going to the Euros. First match, I believe, is on our July 4th holiday against Denmark. What are you looking forward to with that Euro tournament?
I'm really excited. It's an honor to be playing for the national team and be selected. It's huge. That's some of the reason why I'm playing football. It's to also reach goal with my national team. So yeah, it's going to be very excited to meet Sweden.
It's my first time talking to you, Caleb. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I guess kind of going off of what Shawn was talking about a little bit of improvement, especially in the outside back group. We saw Paige start today, some changes with that group. What are you guys working on trying to improve specifically at your position?
I mean, I think me and Paige is both player who is bringing a lot of energy, and the right fullback winger position is it needs a lot of running and capacity of going up and down, and you need to defend, you need to cross, you need to attack, which for me personal, that's a position I really love. And I think Paige today brought a lot of energy, and she's of course a huge player for the group. Yeah, she's the captain, of course, and that's a big thing.
We heard that Jimmy told you guys to take a break now, but you don't get much of a break with traveling and everything, and you didn't have much of a break when you came here either, because you came straight from European team to here. Are you tired at all? Are you noticing the games weighing on you at all?
I mean, I love to play football, and I came here to this the game started, and I mean, I just went in to play games, and now I'm going straight out for a game and putting myself on a plane back to Europe, and then I'm gonna go in on camp on Monday. So right now I'm just excited, and of course I have to take care of my body, but that's people around me who is taking care of that.
Better to play too much than practice too much, right?
I agree.
Yeah, Cans are definitely better.
Don't say that too loud.
But with kind of that international debut and everything, you've been called up a couple of times now, and obviously going back out there for the Euros. Does that give you a little extra like confidence booster, knowing, the national team wants you, respects you, that sort of a thing, that not only translates to your what you hopefully can do in the Euros, but also with your club team? Does it give you a little bit of confidence?
As I said before, it's a huge thing to being selected for the national team, and all the time you see yourself in that squad is just boosting your energy and boosting your confidence. So of course that means a lot, and I really hope that I manage to take all what I can from even Euros and national team and bring that back to Utah Royals. That's my main goal of handle both things, because of course it's a lot of games, but I really hope that can bring this team a lot.
Good luck in Europe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yianni. That's it. All right. We've got Jimmy here, and DJ's head is out of the frame, so we'll go ahead and get started with Shawn Moran.
Coach, good to see you. Let's just put scoreline aside. What were some things that you felt went well this afternoon with the Royals? What are you seeing progress in?
I think we're dreadful. I think we had a few good moments. I think we could have scored 2 to 3 goals. So I think that's a positive. I think Brecken Mozingo was consistent again. She showed up. Found her in the right spaces, was being a threat in the 1v1s, hit the post as well. So I think we had, quite some good moments. I think the negative part is just you're so vulnerable on very, very simple occasions. I mean, the third goal is a throw-in where you have a bad touch and all of a sudden it becomes a goal. I think the first goal is a bad header, and then all of a sudden you end up 2v1 wide, you don't solve it, and you get a goal again. So I think like those small moments are the ones that are really annoying, because I feel like we knock ourselves back into the game. I think 2-1, everything's at stake. I think we're playing well actually, and then against the run of play you can see the third one. And I think those are the moments that are hurting the most at the minute.
May we ask, what factors contributed to that starting defensive lineup? We saw Paige and Anna back there. Just what were the factors that led to that?
Yeah, it's just an overall, I think we make analysis of what we need and what we have. And based upon what we need, we look at what we have again. So I think we needed a lot of energy in that backline. I think against Gotham, we're lacking energy, just 1v1 energy, not stepping in the right spots. So I think what we wanted to do is make sure the team feels like, okay, actually we're changing, we're bringing in other players, players based upon one, merit at practice, and two, based upon the energy they were able to bring. So I think for a fact, I think Paige did a good job coming at the outside back position. I think she did well, show that she's getting there, but then after 50 minutes, I think we all felt that it was already a lot for her. That's also why, again, we pulled the trigger and we were just making sure she stays healthy. But those are the things that we right now we're focusing on. I think to us right now, it's making sure that we have a sustainable future. It's looking forward and making the right decisions based upon merit, and making sure people feel like they have to fight, they have to knock themselves back into starting 11s. And I think there's a promise we made to each other the second we said that we are looking forward to get players back. It's not necessarily to sub players and bring other players in. It's just to make sure everyone feels like there is someone just behind them to take their spot.
Just want to double check. You said dreadful. Is that what you said? That you thought the team was dreadful today?
No, I think we just dreadful. Like, I think we had.
Dreadful.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I thought you said dreadful.
No.
Okay.
We again, like I think what was it, 3 days ago? I received a question on touches in the box and all of that. I think today you end up with more shots on goal. Probably, possibly not on target, but at least like you're getting again in those zones. But then you just see that other teams are more dangerous with the shots they get. So it's about how do we get ourselves in more dangerous spots to then get shots on goal. And I think that's all translation of what we're doing at the minute and focusing on that.
Gotcha. And then we heard that you mentioned to the players after this game, like, take a break, go out, whatever time you have over these next couple weeks to kind of get away from the game. I guess maybe what are your thoughts on that? Why is that so important? And then also, once they do come back, what are the top 2 or 3 things where you're thinking, all right, this is what we have to hit the ground running. This is the things within the next month that we have to fix.
Well, I think the reason why I said is very often people say like we're lucky that there is a next game already coming up in 4 to 5 days, but when you have 3 or 4 consecutive games that you don't win, it's not always a present that the game is just looking around the corner. I think that's why I said what I said. Like we have a full month to reset. I think the last 3 weeks of practice have been different. I think we were able, one, to bring more intensity, but also just different stuff. Building an identity of the Royals. Being 18 months old, that's what we still need and still what we're questioning. So I think the month of July is there to really build a foundation. Very simple, probably just 1 to 3 steps and that's it, and really drill it in and make sure people know what it is and how we do it. And I think that's why. And second of all, I think when you're not always in the best spot when it comes to playing, you need people around you. You need to feel different things than just being at a soccer club. So that I think that's why I give them the advice, like make sure you see the people that you love and the people that love you, and make sure you kind of just detach from the game and you get some time by yourself. And I just want everyone to come back in the best possible headspace and look forward.
And then lastly for me, you mentioned wanting to build a sustainable future for this team. Is that something that you feel is supported by the front office and ownership, of understanding, okay, the results might not be here right now, but if we take the time, then they will get here eventually?
It's a question for them, isn't it? But no, I think I felt the support the last 4 to 6 weeks. I think also internally, I think Jason Kreis comes and look at what we're doing just to build with us. I think he has a very good experience of building stuff from the bottom out. I think that's helping us as well. That takes away the pressure of coaching staff, takes away the pressure of players as well. And I think the most important part and message to them is like, let's not look at scoreboards, let's not look at whatever is happening, but let's make sure we make steps and we're actually moving forward. And I think, in my opinion, this was not a 4-1 game. I think it was definitely not a 4-1 game. So if you just make analysis of what you did, you'll definitely find some good moments, and then we'll build up on that. But the one thing I can 100% back up is, ever since ownership changed, and it wasn't different before that, but ever since it changed, it was one clear message, and that's let's build something, let's build a foundation, and let's build up on the foundation that we are building in the next 6 months. So I think that's a message that the players know and everyone knows, and that's what we want to do. We want to be competitive as much as we can, but we also want to make sure by being competitive we're actually building for the future and not giving up the future to just get results.
Coach, one more. The July transfer window, is just around the corner. You have several SEIs. We assume Mona's already made the transition. What are you hoping to get out of that window? And is somebody out there big game hunting?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do, and I think that's what I'm grateful for, is getting everyone back on the pitch. Because I think we're still in a situation where we've not seen a full roster yet. I think it was Paige being back and being on an outside back position, but I think it was the second time this season. So I think, to me, the priority is to get everyone back on the pitch, make sure we see who is capable of doing what. Second part is that identity piece, is making sure that we understand who we want to be and how we're going to do that. And once we have those 2 pieces together, we can also start looking at what do we actually need. Because at the end of the day, I think there is potential in this group, and it's reaching the full potential by playing players on the right spot and adapting the style of play sometimes to what you have, but still making it sustainable for the future. So I think my message for the break is, right now is let's not do something crazy. Let's make sure we get the full potential of what we have. And the second we have that and we have clear identity of what we want to be, then we obviously can go out and get players. But to your point, I think some of the season-ending injuries were, I think, slightly replaced, not fully replaced, so that will probably be something that we're looking at. But again, like, you don't want to end up with a roster at the end of the season where, again, you have a turnover of X people. Like, it's just making sure that we take the right decisions and we keep on building. Good.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.